Okay. I haven't made a video in forever because I've just been so pissed off at life. Methadone Detox was really bad. And I'm obviously feeling better. The only effects that I still have are I was having a lot of trouble connecting my words and my thoughts to what came out of my mouth. And that's a lot of why I couldn't make videos too, because I couldn't think. And I'm getting a lot better with that. And y'all have to remember, I was on opiates for 12 years, methadone for 7, oxycodone for 8, both combined. And at one time I was on Percocet, morphine, oxycodone, and methadone at the same time. But being that I'm a gastric bypass patient, I malabsorb the medication. So I never really fully get the effect, but it doesn't mean I didn't get addicted. I was 100% addicted. Not up here, but everywhere else. I'm the one that was begging workers' comp for 7 years to get me off these meds because I couldn't stand them. But they wouldn't, so that's why I went through my private insurance, and thank God the pre-existing condition laws don't apply anymore because I was able to do that. But what I'm pissed off about, and this is really common, I found out, now that I'm off methadone, I'm feeling every ounce of pain. My history is that in 2006, it was actually April of 2006, I had worked at Target just like 10 hours a week, and I did the guest service, the return counter, but I only worked in evenings and maybe like one Sunday a week if my husband wasn't working. And I loved it. It was like shopping for me. I mean, I would get to see like, what people were returning and like things on the floor, and I'd get to sort them and be like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to buy that. It was like literally shopping. It was the best. But one night, and it was April the 5th or the 6th, the store was closed. I was lifting up a box of defectives that was pretty heavy, and I did it all the time. This time when I lifted it up to put it on the counter so that the cart attendant could take it into the back, I felt a really strange burning sensation. And the last time I'd really felt that burning sensation was when I was probably in 8th or 9th grade playing softball, and I was catcher. So I'd have to be able to throw the ball from home plate to center field, just to have a good arm. And sorry, my helix hurts. And I remember that was the first time I felt that burning sensation. And I felt it a couple times after that, but nothing like this night. The next day, I was in tears. My husband had to take me to the emergency room that night, and every night after, until they finally figured out that I had herniated my disc between C5 and C6. The one between C6 and C7 was bulging, but not enough for surgery. It wasn't bad. But they waited because you really don't do surgery on something like that. You do physical therapy. But what had happened was I had gone to sports medicine about an hour and a half away from where we lived at the time. It was actually the city where my husband and I got married and where I gave birth to our first child, but we had moved across the bay to the North Bay. We're from the San Francisco Bay Area, and this is in the peninsula. And it was just an exam because I had to go see a neurosurgeon because I was leaking urine. It's a little TMI, but this is what happens. And they were poking my cupcake with a needle. I couldn't feel a thing. I couldn't feel a thing down there. And then they were running like, it looks like a pizza cutter up and down my right foot. I couldn't feel it. I don't think I could feel it on my left either. But again, I'm 48 and this is when I was 36. And actually I hadn't turned 36 yet. I was 35. And so I can't remember that far back about a lot of things. But basically, they did an emergency surgery the next day. They bumped some poor soul off his surgery. It was some guy. I felt so bad, but they did my surgery. They did a fusion, cadaver bone, plate, rod. Fast forward about 9 months, I'm feeling really bad. Like, the pain is just worse than ever. And I have an MRI and x-ray and, I don't know, blood tests, whatever. My body was rejecting the cadaver bone. So they were going to just do a simple replacement of the hardware and take bone from my hip, which scared me. But, I mean, if it was the best thing to do, it was the best thing to do. That was supposed to be an hour and a half surgery. They came out and told my husband, we got to screw a halo in her head and flip her. This is going to be quite a while, so you might want to go home. A 90-minute surgery turned into 9 hours. And when I woke up, the first thing I did was like, oh my God, I could feel... I didn't have a halo when I woke up. They just screwed the halo in to flip me. Because I'd only had interior cuts before, and they were just going to go anterior again, but this time they had to go posterior. This didn't hurt the first time. I was fine. I was able to go home the next day. This back here, I was in the hospital for about a week and a half. It was so bad. Cutting through all those muscles, spreading. This time they didn't take bone from my hip. I can't remember why, but they used cadaver bone again. I think they found a match. But this time they put a rod on the back, a rod on the front. No, a plate on the front, a plate on the back, a rod, and then a rod. Basically, they doubled the hardware. And if you look at my x-rays, you can see where I've got the rod and the plate and the plate and the rod and the screw. I look like Frankenstein. It's disgusting. And it's pretty depressing because when you have the herniated disc between C5 and C6, they almost say it's the worst because that's your range of motion, and it's just, I didn't get any pain relief after that, and unfortunately that sometimes is common. And what else happened was I got cellulitis. Ugh. My son at the time, I think he was 10, he's now 21, almost 22. He had noticed on the back of my neck there was like some green stuff oozing out. Now, I had just had my stitches taken out like a couple weeks before that. So I went in. Of course, I was accused of drug seeking because I'd gone to the emergency room. It fucking pisses me off. And I was like, no, I'm not here for medication. I'm here because I feel sick. There's something in the back of my neck. I'd had a fever too. And they did... it was either a CAT scan or an MRI. They had injected me with some, like, I called it hot lava because it burned. And that's when they found the cellulitis, so had to have another surgery. They had to go in the back again, posterior. That one, I was in the hospital for 7 days. But before I left, I had to have a PICC line put in, and I had that in for 32 days. I had to inject myself 3 times a day with antibiotics through the PICC line, and I gave myself pain medication through the PICC line because it was a fresh reopening of that wound, and oh my God, it was so bad. But then I was on Percocet, and then my workers' comp doctor put me on Percocet and morphine, and then I wasn't getting any pain relief from that, but I also wasn't getting high either. I wasn't like stoned or high or slurring my speech. It's because I malabsorb it. I get like maybe 7 to 10% of the full strength. Then I was on Percocet, oxycodone, morphine, and methadone. And then I got I couldn't stand the Percocet and the morphine, so I just kept with the oxycodone and the methadone, and that actually worked. And then workers' comp said, you know what? No more. We're not going to pay for it. Wean yourself off. No detox, nothing. Just wean yourself off. I have the letter. It was unbelievable. So I talked to my chronic pain doctor, and he was, now, mind you, he's been trying to get me into a pain management detox for years too, but workers' comp keeps denying it. What I found out later is he was supposed to appeal it, but he's in between about 7 offices because workers' comp in California is a nightmare. And so I couldn't afford to pay for the oxycodone, but I could afford to pay for the methadone. However, I had to cut myself down 3/4 of the prescription down to 1/4 of what I would normally take. But it was okay. I mean, I was not happy as far as like in between I could feel the pain because I can't take anything extended release. So about 4 hours after that pain medication wears off, I'd have to take another pill. But now that I was paying for it myself, I have to wait 6 to 8 hours, and it was hard. So I just had enough, and I remembered about the pre-existing condition laws being removed. I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner. So I called my doctor and I said, I need to get off methadone. I'm so done with pain meds. So she's like, cool, and gave me a referral to an outpatient detox center. I have Kaiser insurance in California. People would know what that is. I think in California, Oregon, and Arizona, possibly, and Nevada. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I had my detox. It was hell. My videos are up. I can't even watch them because it's horrible. It's like I have allergies right now and I sneeze all the time and dry throat. That's just from methadone withdrawal. That's something that I'll probably have for a couple of more months too. It like sticks to your brain. It doesn't go away right away. But I also had a really bad reaction to 2 medications that I was given for detox for, I think, anxiety and for the EBGBs that you get. And I'm like that 1% that went nuts. I was like a zombie. It was like I was so incredibly drunk and on drugs. I don't remember anything. I woke up like 3 days later with bruises all over my body. My husband said he was going to call an ambulance. He was so scared. And my husband is not one of those emotional, scared kind of guys, but this scared him. And I don't remember any of it, but I think I may have made a video while being like that, but I can't watch them because it just, I don't want to remember it. But now that I'm feeling all of the pain, I can't take any pain medication. I am on gabapentin and I'm transitioning into Topamax because I still have severe nerve damage. My hands are tingling so bad. I have the pain radiating down my arm. It hurts back here and up above my shoulder blade. And that's what I had before all the surgeries. So I'm in acupuncture once a week, and that's been making me sick too. I've had what they call like the acupuncture flu, where you get diarrhea, you're so tired, you can't move. The other night I went to bed at 9 after my third treatment because I was so tired. And I usually don't go to bed until like midnight, but I was just that tired. And, oh my God, I can't think. Then I'm going to start, next week I'm starting chronic pain management / physical therapy. And before you do that, you have to see a pain management like psychologist she was. And I told her, I'm just so mad. I'm angry. I'm pissed. I'm a biatch all the time. And she said, that's actually normal. And what it is I'm just reacting between the detox and then transitioning into the pain. And then you get so mad because it's almost like kind of a pity party. Like, why me? Like, why the F did this happen to me? And then not only that, I've got malnutrition from weight loss surgery and my teeth are all destroyed. And it's like, I was kind of like legit having a little pity party. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm not dying. I don't have cancer. You gotta sometimes just buck up, and that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to buck up and, be more positive. Like, I talked to the neurosurgeon. He was kind of a eggplant emoji, And I was telling him about my pain. He was like, oh, we're not giving you opiates. And I'm like, you need to look at my record, because I'm the one that got myself off of drugs, off of methadone, off of opiates. You guys didn't do it. Workers' comp didn't do it. Nobody told me I had to do it. I did it myself. So you need to check yourself. And I was really mad. I'm so sick and tired of anytime you, and I'm in a chronic pain group too, and same thing. Anytime you complain about an ache or pain, oh, you're drug seeking, you're drug seeking. No, I'm seeking information, not opiates, you jackasses. But anyway, that's, beside the point. But yeah, I've been so angry. So yeah, I found out that's why. But like I said, I need to buck it up, because it's not doing me any good. I have more wrinkles and, that, because I've been like, and, if you smile, I think it makes you healthier too. But yeah, so I'm going to do a lot more of that. And, I hope that my videos are helping people, just so you can kind of like see the rawness of what detox was, at least for me. Oh, it was bad. I didn't throw up because gastric bypass, I really don't puke. But diarrhea, oh my God. Oh, that was awful. Anything I put in my mouth, even if it was a cough drop because my throat was dry and I swallowed it, it went right through me. Water, right through me. Anything. Even Gatorade. I couldn't do it. It was bad. So anyways, hope this finds you all well. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Sometimes I'm slow just because I don't understand computers. Well, actually, it's my phone. I'm an old person. I'm not a millennial. So anyway, peace out.